Hello, everybody. It's another Friday with Father Scott coming to you from my office, and I'm going to, as has become our custom, take the upcoming Sunday Gospel. And it's another famous Gospel. It's the woman caught in adultery. So it's a reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. Jesus went to the Mount of Olives. But early in the morning he arrived again in the temple area, and all the people started coming to him, and he sat down and taught them. Then the scribes and the Pharisees brought a woman who had been caught in adultery, and made her stand in the middle. They said to him, "Teacher, this woman was caught in the very act of committing adultery. Now in the law, Moses commanded us to stone such women. So what do you say?" They said this to test him, so that they can bring some charge to bring against him. Jesus bent down and began to write on the ground with his finger. But when they continued asking him, he straightened up and said to them, "Let the one among you who is without sin be the first to throw a stone at her." Again he bent down and wrote on the ground, and in response they went away one by one, beginning with the elders. So he was left alone with the woman before him. Then Jesus straightened up and said to her, "Woman, where are they now? Has no one condemned you?" She replied, "No one, sir." Then Jesus said, "Neither do I condemn you. Go, and from now on, do not sin anymore." The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. You know, I added the word "now," but that's not in there. Just it flew from my mouth. Maybe it's apropos. Just thinking about, to this gospel. Many years ago, as a younger pastor, younger priest, I was complaining about, about someone who I liked that was on the news about having committed adultery. And I remember I wasn't talking about stoning her. I was just disappointed. And I was in the sacristy of the church, and the person that heard me very gently said to me, "Father Scott, we all have clay feet." And I paused and I thought, you're right. Maybe this gospel reminds us of that. I mean, I just think about the power of the words, and maybe you've committed adultery. Maybe you've been caught in the very act of committing adultery. Think about some of the things that society would say about you, or in Jesus' day, what might happen to you. I remember, and I've said this in church, that one of those folks that is very influential in my life and my upbringing was a marriage and family therapist, and one of our former priests named Bill Gorman. And he did a little workshop for the parish that I was in, and during talk he said that 64% of all married men have affairs. And somebody asked him in the crowd, "Well, who do they have affairs with?" And he said, 62% of married women. And I thought, oh my gosh, that only leaves a third of the congregation who doesn't sin in that way. So I just wondered about that, and I wonder about that in light of the gospel story today. It's a powerful gospel story. Train of thought. One of my friends, when he was ordained, this was the gospel for his ordination. And his emphasis was on the mercy and love that Jesus has for all of us, especially those of us who are sinners. And so that's all of us. And so maybe just the gentle reminder today, when we're quick to talk, when we're quick to comment, when we're quick maybe to go on social media, to remember we all have clay feet. And maybe people know things about us that might get us stoned, literally and figuratively, but to remind ourselves that we all have clay feet. And Jesus says to all of us, go and from now on, do not sin anymore. So ladies and gentlemen, until we meet again, watch out for your neighbors, your brothers and sisters. We're getting ready for spring break. Be safe. Count the heads of all the little ones that are in your charge, and make sure they came floating back in from all that seawater, and have a good time. So until we meet again, God's blessing on you. Take care.